So good afternoon, champions. I hope you are still having a great week. So welcome to our today's analysis. So today I'll just be analyzing two pairs, and that is AUDUSD together with GBPUSD. So I usually say that AUDUSD moves hand in hand together with GBPUSD. So the same movement that is being characterized by AUDUSD is also the same movement that is usually made by GBPUSD. So it will be like a similarity comparing two things that almost look alike. So this is the weekly time frame for AUDUSD. So as you can see that we had, let me just zoom out so that you can have a clear view of what I'm trying to say. Mhm. So we had attached to this trend line at this point. So we are expecting a move to the upside. Last time I talked about I was waiting for a breakout to the upside. That's why you're seeing that I've got this long position already placed because I'm just waiting for the market to have a breakout on this trend line in this part here. So, but currently, as I said last week, that we are still in a point of consolidation. If I may move to the daily time frame, so from the daily time frame, you can clearly see what I'm trying to say. So you can see attached to the downside, attached to the upside. So we had another another line that is cutting across. Yeah, so you can see that you've got that line in the middle, kind of a middle trend line. So you can see that we had a touch at this point here. So we had a touch in these areas. We also had a touch to the upside. Then you can see that the markets were touching the middle line, and then moving to the upside. So we had a breakout in this position here, move to the downside to this point of support. It created this point of support, had a move to the upside, then a retest to that point of support again. And then we had a breakout to the upside at this position, which led to the market touching the trend line above here. Also created a point of resistance. So we had a creation of a point of resistance at this point, and also a creation of point of support at this area. So you can see that the market have been moving in between those two. Uh, in this between this region, that is the point of resistance and the point of support, and that is what we have been seeing for the last few weeks, this point of consolidation. And usually point of consolidation usually prepare a breakout. That is something that you should know at the back of your mind, that whenever we have got a very strong consolidation, we are waiting a very huge breakout. So the thing is to understand where the breakout is going to happen, either to the upside or to the downside. So I'll be explaining that as I'll be analyzing this pair. So currently, so you can see the kind of pattern that they have been creating. So we had a touch to this point here, a shallow touch to the upside, then the market moved to the downside. Remember, there was a shallow touch in this area mainly because the markets were respecting the trend line in this area. So you can see that we had a touch to this trend line, and then the market moved to the downside. So usually the market respect trend line more than even point of support or point of resistance. So you can see that they respected this trend line in this area. So we had a move to the downside in this area, still respecting this point of support. So we had a breakout to the upside in this point of resistance here, but there was since a correction, a move to the downside, and then we had a shallow touch in this area. Then we had a move to the upside, touching this middle trend line here, and then we had a move to the downside to this point of support, and then we had a confirmation of the move to the upside up to this area. Then we had a retest to this point of support. So let me move to the hourly time frame. So, so from the hourly time frame, I can see that you have got a clear view of what I'm trying to explain. So let me remove that. So you can see what I've been trying. So as the markets are trying to create a breakout, there are patterns that are still being created. So let me remove that. I want to remove the noises that I'm having so that you can have a clear view. Remember, this is after the market touched the point of resistance above, so the markets are moving kind to the downside, but still I'm expecting a move to the upside. So you can see that they respected this trend line that was below here. So the market respected this area here, this point of resistance at this point. Sorry, this trend line below here, not a point of resistance, but this trend line here. And then we had a clear move to the upside. And then the market, so this looked like a kind of a breakout, but it was a false one. That's why I always encourage you guys to always have at least 4 candlestick confirmation to the upside, or 3. So you can see here, for those of you who like looking at only 3 or 2 green candlestick for them to get into a buy. I know you are caught up in this area. And also the other thing that I would like to share with you is the pullbacks that the market usually makes. So you can see this pullback. So be careful when you're placing in your stop losses, because the market will always want to get you out of the trade. So you can see this whole pullback. The market was moving to the upside, but you can see this pullback around this area. So you can see this pullback. This, I usually call it a tail. So this tail, I know it took a lot of traders out of the market, then it moved to the upside. So make sure that you give your market space to breathe, a space to breathe, or a space to move in between. So you can see that we had a clear breakout to the upside in this area. Then we had a very beautiful pattern that is still being created in this region. So we have I can see that we have got a breakout to the upside, but since there is a correction here, so currently I'm expecting the market to even have a correction not only in that area. So let me do this. So I'm expecting the market to not only have a correction in this area, but also to have a correction in the area. Let me take this. Yeah. So I'm expecting the markets to have a correction to this area. I'm expecting the markets to move below up to this area. That's why I've got this short position here. So I'm just waiting for a confirmation. So I'm waiting for the market to raise up to this level for me to, for the markets, I know they are going to move to retest to the downside to this point of support before moving to the upside to have a retest. So you can see that in this trade, always calculate the amount of risk that you are taking against the reward. So in this trade, I'm looking forward to be risking a total of 124 pips for a total reward of 1049 pips. So for the part of lot size, you can decide which lot size you want to use. So as I've said earlier on, what you have on AUDUSD is always the same as to what you'll be having on GBPUSD. So on GBPUSD, so you can see that we had that breakout as a clear confirmation that the market are moving above. So I'm just waiting for a clear move to the upside, a breakout to that point of resistance. Remember, this is a very strong point of resistance here. So you have got this point of resistance in this area, which is a very strong point of resistance here. So if the market will be able to have a clear breakout, then you're going to have more positions of buying than of selling. So let me move to the daily time frame. So from the daily time frame, I know you can see the clear pattern. It looks the same as AUDUSD. The two regions also, the AUDUSD hard is also characterized also in the GBPUSD. So you can have that pattern there. Yep, so you can have that middle trend line at that area. So you can see that the market have been touching after a clear touch to the downside in this area. We had a breakout, but still we had a retest to this trend line here. Then we have a breakout to the upside in this area that confirmed that the market had to touch the trend line above here. We had a breakout in this area that confirmed that the market will come up to this area where they'll be touching the trend line below. And we have been experiencing the same pattern. Several touches on the middle trend line created this point of support in this area. So you can see a touch in this area. So we had several touches, especially in the whole of this area here. And then we had a move to the upside to this point of resistance here. And then the market decided to move to this area, had a move to the upside, touching this middle trend line here. Then you had a move to the downside to the point of support that had been created earlier on. Then you had this small pattern in between these two trend lines that has been the market has been moving in between. So currently we are experiencing several touches to the middle trend line. So I'd like us to move to the hourly time time frame. So from the hourly time frame, if I may zoom out so that you can have a clear view of what I'm trying to explain. So we are still expecting the markets to have a breakout to the upside, but still from the hourly time frame, we can capitalize both on the move to the downside and also the move to the upside. So you can see that here we had a breakout. So generally the market are moving to the upside. So clearly you can see that in this area we had a breakout uh, to the downside, and then there was a creation of this point of support here. So we had a first touch on this point of support, a shallow move to the upside. Then he had a second touch to this point of support. Then he had a move that went to the upside. Then there was a creation of the second point of support, but still respecting this trend line here. And then we had a move to the downside to this point of resistance. So the market have been respecting this point of resistance up to this point for the third time, and then we had a move to the downside to this point here. Then we had a move to the upside till to this point of resistance again. Now the markets are currently moving down. So I'm currently expecting the markets to move further down to this point of um, support here for them to move further to the upside, maybe to make a breakout this time round to the upside, and then we are going to have some small consolidation here before the market moves to the upside. So currently the market is moving so well. So you can see here I'm risking a total amount of 187 to get a total reward of 614. So if that breakout takes place, I'm looking for more selling opportunity up to this area here. Yeah, which is good for trading. So that is all that I had for you guys for today. Hope you'll continue having a great week and also a profitable one. So see you on Friday, and may the tips be with you.